So you because it support
until the relationships I
asking questions. We need them for this interview, baby. I miss If there's anything I miss more besides dancing, is karaoke.
Oh, I miss karaoke.
It
I
is
miss
not the same to do it at your
norebang.
house, huh?
I miss
What's that?
norebang, which is
What is that?
I lived in South Korea for a year, so it's
Oh,
karaoke
cool, cool,
in
cool.
South Korea, but it's different in the fact that you rent a room with your friends, um, and you can bring in alcohol or whatever you want, and like there's couches and stuff, and you have a remote, and you like just sing, and it's
So
amazing.
South Korea, part of my bucket list. Got it.
Let me know when you go because I can tell you all the things you need to know.
I have like a crew I'm gonna go with. There's like 4 or 5 people I'll go with that we have playlists for our playlist for karaoke. We're kind of obsessed.
I
Okay.
love karaoke so much. Okay, next
Dis-
time I'm
Disney
in Grand
movie
Rapids,
songs.
that's what we're
Yes.
doing.
When you come to Grand Rapids and everything's open up again, we'll go karaoke. We do a lot of Disney songs. Like A Whole New World is my jam.
Yes.
I even get like, so my wife is a phenomenal singer, who also is named Allison Joy Brito. And she has like a really well trained voice. And then I try to pretend like I'm really good, but I'm not. I'm just being goofy. Anyone who knows me, I'm goofy everywhere. So she'll be like, ah, and I'll be like, oh, I'll be like being ridiculous. And somehow she still stands. She puts up with me. But we have so much fun. So I miss karaoke. Sorry, you said karaoke. I had a moment right there.
Oh yes. Okay, so we're going back to fear.
Yes,
Um,
fear.
so moving through fear is a beautiful
Mm,
thing, and I have this whole thing where I teach fear melters. It's something
mm,
that I learned from the Hendricks Institute, but essentially it's like there are 4 different types of fear, and with those different types of fear, there's something that happens in your body. So to give you an example, when you think of freezing and fear, what happens in your body? You like
mm,
freeze. So the opposite of freezing is wiggling. So if you
mm,
physically wiggle your body, you cannot like it grounds you in a way that helps you move through your fear. And
mm,
getting your body to move allows you to actually physically move through that fear, and it's amazing how much that shifts. One of the ones that I love too is like it's flee fear, so you want to run
mm.
away. The
Yeah.
opposite of that is like a sumo wrestler position. So if you like stand in a sumo wrestler position and ground yourself, it changes your whole stance and your
Mm,
being. Um, and so when you find yourself stuck in fear, those are some
mm,
tools you can use is to actually
for sure.
physically move your body. But then
Mm,
also breathing, because generally
yes.
what happens with your body when you are in fear is you stop breathing. So you have to
Hmm.
consciously choose to take deep breaths. So moving your body
Yes.
and taking deep breaths can help you move through that fear.
Yes. I love to do a lot of mindfulness techniques. And have you heard of acceptance commitment therapy?
Maybe I'm not familiar with terms
It's
generally.
a very holistic form of therapy. Incorporates both like the cognitive stuff, but also the mindfulness stuff.
Mhm.
I love it. It's very practical. I think it embodies both like every aspect of the human person, their feelings, thoughts, experiences, sensations. It takes into account all that, spirituality. I love it. So, sorry, when we were talking about that, some of those principles are in acceptance commitment therapy, which is one that I do a lot with my patients.
That's excellent.
So, quickly, because I realize we have people in and out, and I don't think we fully really ever like did a proper introduction of each other. Just in case for some new people, I think I can't even see who's here. Let me check. Okay, yeah, we got Allie, me. Oh, my girl, my good friend Wendy, Professor Wendy Ruiz from GVSU is hanging out with us. It's an honor to have you here.
Excellent.
Uh, so just kind of introduce yourself, what you do. I'll do the same, and then I got a few more interesting questions for you.
Awesome. I am Jess DeBose, and I currently reside in Cleveland, Ohio. And I am
Jill.
a breakup to breakthrough coach. So I help
Okay.
people move through their breakup period so they can experience clarity and joy again in their lives.
Hmm.
Um, and I just love people. I just love people.
And that I could tell you, folks, by experience, as I've gotten to know Jess, she's a very warm, very kind, very fun person. My wife and I have gotten to get to know her a little bit and played board games with her and friends. Uh, Remember that charades game we played that was ridiculous at Allison's house?
Yes.
That was fun. Anyway, uh, so yeah, that is true. That comes out of her. She's automatically engaging. So if you haven't had a chance to get to know her, if you're in the Michigan area and she's around, we're about to do like a live thing to let you know, come karaoke with us. Yes, it's going to be fun. I know Allison, both Allisons are going to love it. Maybe I could convince Wyatt and maybe Ricardo to sing a song with me.
Yeah.
It'd be like the triple threat. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. This is going to have the skinny guy. Okay. The big guy in the middle and the other skinny brown guy. It's going to be the 101 doing karaoke. It's fantastic.
So Allison keeps waving. Are you waving because you have a question, or are you just waving to say hi?
She said you'll win a life if you do that. So hey.
Yeah.
Cool. So for those of you, most of you know me, but I'm Alex Brito. I am both a master's level psychologist and counselor, working at Clínica Santa Maria in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and then I've also started my own. I don't know if it's a private practice. So I started a practice in participation with a church called Esperanza Counseling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little project I'm very proud of. Right now I'm seeing like an average of 10 people a week via
That's
telehealth. So I'm excited. Working a lot with couples, teens, and kids. A lot of therapists don't like to work with kids. It's the weirdest thing, but I do. Mm-hmm. So I do that. On top of that, I am a father of 2 beautiful children, as I mentioned earlier.
They are so beautiful. Hi, Jake.
Hello. We got another person. Hello. Welcome to our interactive, exciting interview. There we go. So like I said, I'm married to a wonderful, wonderful lady who puts up with me, who's more creative than me. And I got 2 beautiful kids who are going to be interesting because they're definitely more artistic in the mom side than I am. But a lot of it's, going back to me, obviously, like I said earlier, I've been in the United States for about 10 years. July will be 10 years. And in my time here, before I used to do community development in Dominican Republic, working with gang members and like very dangerous and impoverished neighborhoods. And then I came here and fell in love with the idea of counseling. I kind of did it in the DR with families because I was allowed to. And took the plunge as an adult with family and kids and go back to school and always feel like the oldest dude in my class. Discovered a passion for really walking with people. And that's what I tell. So as a counselor, I never tell people, I'm going to fix you. I'd be lying. I don't want to lie to my patients. I'd be like, I will walk with you and together we can find, and I like the word creative solutions to whatever brings you here. Because that way I'm expecting of them their participation. And I love what I do. People ask me like, do you get tired of counseling? I'm like, no. I may get physically tired, and my body automatically does 2 things. It sleeps or it eats, and then I'm good. And obviously I do things to take care of myself. Like I've been doing a lot of reading, which I really enjoy. When things are open, I go dancing a lot. But I find fascinating just understanding and learning about different people's way of life and in what ways it's been very helpful and in what ways it's toxic for them. And that has been very fun, very powerful for me to be part of that. It's outside of that, I'm passionate about advocating for my community, particularly the issue of race and immigration, which is a issue that we have here in Grand Rapids, and we're trying to. And I think some good steps have been taken both by different organizations and even our current mayor, who I have a lot of respect for. So I'm involved in movements like Cosecha Movement that's trying to get license to people who are undocumented so they can be able to live life, issues with DACA and stuff like that. So issues I'm passionate about that I'm involved in the community in the west side of Grand Rapids where I live. yeah, so that's a little bit of who I am. I love to dance. I love to eat. I can cook. I will kill you, but you can eat it. And yeah, I mean, I'm the kind of guy I like to think what you see is what you get. And if you, I'm always open to people if they want to have coffee, get to know me. I love to meet people. I think as I think about why I do what I do, when I was younger, I was into a lot of really bad stuff. Um, Stuff when I think about it, I'm really ashamed of, and I've been working through that. But because I was given a chance to uh, make up for it, to be able to get through it, to overcome those things, I think I'm very grateful for that. So I want to give what was given to me to others, and with what I have. So that's just a little glimpse of who I am.
Hmm.
If anybody has any questions in the comments, don't be shy, be free. You will learn that I am not ashamed of any topic.
I have a question.
Go for it, girl.
So I've been noticing some of your language throughout this whole interview, and I'm wondering, do you find that you are hard on yourself?
Very,
Yeah,
very hard on myself.
yeah.
And it's something I've actually am working through therapy. So I want to give a shout out. Okay, I got to give a shout out to my girl Carmen Perdomo. She is my therapist, and I'm very proud to be both her patient and her colleague. So if you don't check her out, if you're in the Grand Rapids area, check her out. She has a place called Mi Casita Counseling. Man, I love my therapist for a few reasons. There's three things. One, she is very experienced. This lady knows what she's talking about. Two, she is old school Puerto Rican and can call me out on all my crap. And I love it. It's the weirdest thing. Like she'll be like, Alex, I'm okay, you know. She'll be like, stop it. And she'll just call it out. And I love it. And she's a very genuine and loving person. Um
That's
so
beautiful.
so I've been working a lot of some of the stuff out. I think when you're hard on yourself, at least I've learned true for me, it comes from a place of insecurity.
Hmm.
You think it becomes something else, but it's more like if I don't have this expectation met, then there's something wrong with me, right?
Hmm.
Uh, and I try to be careful about that because it's easy for people like me. I think people who struggle with that to really take it personally, like there's something wrong with them, flawed with them, and it carries on in relationships, right?
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'm hard on myself. I think the good part about it is because I want to say the other side of being hard on yourself is having high expectations of yourself. When they're realistic and when they are healthy, it works. So I would say in my work I have a lot of high expectations of myself to be to give the best quality in what I do. But somehow within that, I can give myself what I call some grace. So if I didn't finish all my paperwork Friday afternoon, well, that's fine. I could do it Monday, or I could just log into the weekend and do it, right? Where
Hmm.
before I'd be like, what's wrong with you? What kind of clinician are you that you can't even finish your paperwork by Friday, 5 o'clock? Well, this work is complicated. Life is hard. And as I've worked through this, uh, I'm giving myself more of a break. I'm learning some really good skills. And it just goes to show that an old dog can learn new tricks. And that therapists need therapy. Not because there's something innately wrong with them. In fact, like I don't feel like I have deep rooted issues. I just feel like it keeps me balanced. It keeps me focused. It's a super healthy thing. If I could go twice a week, I would go twice a week. But that would be too much. My therapist is like, no, that's too much. Uh, but yeah, but I am hard on myself. I can admit that.
Yeah. Mm. Oh, we never answered your initial question when we started. It was like, what is coaching? So,
Yes.
coaching, um,
Mm,
the coaching is geared toward getting results, and it is a short-term thing. So,
mm,
there, just so we've discussed how I'm a breakup to breakthrough coach, but there are
mm,
other coaches that do different things. So, if you are looking for doing something in your life physically and you are looking for health, there are health coaches, there are relationship coaches, there are um, you could find very niche things. I know somebody, I have a whole plethora of coaches in my life. I know one who helps, what are they called? Um, doulas, helps doulas
You
who,
know, my wife Allison's a doula, right? Did I tell you that?
yes, yes, I did know that.
Yes.
So this particular coach recognized that there was a gap
Mm-hmm.
in the training from being a doula to some of the traumatic things that can happen in a birth.
Mm-hmm.
And not only are the family experiencing that trauma, the doula also experiences that trauma. And
Mm-hmm.
so helping move doulas through that so that they can continue to be a doula and not be burnt out from whatever traumatic thing that they
Mm-hmm.
experienced because
Yeah.
of a complication in a birth. And so that, like, coaches get that specific. And so when
Okay.
you are looking to find something that you want to do in life, like you find the person who's already doing it in that coaching world and hire them to show you how to do it so you could shortcut through and not have to experience all the same shit they had to experience and get to the other side. So part of hiring me as a coach is to help you move through some of the painful shit that I went through and like shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you can shortcut through grief because you can't, but there's giving you tools to help you actually experience that grief because a lot of people
Yeah.
don't know how to grieve. So that's part of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And like other people have different talents in different ways. And so
Yeah.
I would
Mm.
that's what coaching is all about.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier when you're talking about what you do with coach, the idea of helping people find um, kind of, I may be wording it wrong. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
um, it was in reference of like everyone has the right to kind of find their own happiness and try to figure out what is it that they need. And you shared about a standard kind of a that you help them figure out. So walk me through that process. So let's say I come in, we'll do a case study. You know, we clinicians, we love case studies, right? So let's say I'm coming in, uh, and you know, my girlfriend of 5 years, uh, okay, different me because I'm married. So let's say that I'm younger, and some poor young lady actually is blind and finds me attractive. I'm just kidding, guys.
If it kicks us off,
Blah blah.
I'll hop back on, okay?
Oh, you
It
okay?
says 16 minutes remaining, so if it kicks us off, I'll just hop back on.
Perfect. So, folks, you know, if it kicks off, we're going to come back out. Don't be shy. So I come out. I've just been broke. You know, my girlfriend 5 years broke up with me.
Hello, hello! We got cut off. Instagram gave us a time limit, so we're going to start again. I'm just waiting for Alex. There he is.
I am
Learn
back. Sorry. Let me turn on the camera. There we go.
it.
We lost the audience, but it doesn't matter. They'll be back hopefully.
Yes.
So yeah, so I come to you. I have an issue. You know, my girlfriend broke up with me after 5 years, and I don't know what to you, but I'm coming to you. What would be next?
Um, so we'd have probably a little chat to find out a little bit more about your experience and where you are and what you're looking for, but then through like texting or whatever. And then I would schedule what I call a discovery call. It's a free 30-minute conversation where we decide if it's a good fit for us to work together. Because I don't
Okay.
work with just anybody. I work with people who I know I can help and who I actually would enjoy working with. Um, and just like you, like if it was you, you would have to enjoy and want to work with me. There has to be some sort of connection. And if I'm
Okay.
not the right person, I have, like I said, I have a connection to hundreds of coaches at this point. So I might be able to give you a reference to somebody else who might be a better fit than myself. So that would be the start. And during that discovery call, we would really
Mm-hmm.
find out what the pain point is,
Okay.
and then what underneath the pain point is the real thing that's happening.
Yeah.
So the pain point is your breakup, and then what's actually going on underneath. because that's just the surface level of what's happening, but there's a whole lot of other stuff happening underneath. And then we figure out what that is, and really go there in that 30-minute conversation.
Gotcha. Now I have an interesting question. So I have a group of men I see in the clinic who have been through either a really difficult divorce or a really difficult breakup. And I can think of 5 of them that have made this similar comment. And I wanted to get your opinion on that.
Okay.
So they would say, and in these cases, it appears, again, because of the other person's on the room with me, that a lot of the efforts and energies for the divorce and breakup and the things that hurt were from the part of the partner that left them, right? That's what appears, according to what they tell me. So they have developed this idea, like, well, their whole thing, this nice guys finish last type of theory, like, I'm a good man, I'm a good guy, my wife left me for some douchebag, my boyfriend left me for someone who's no good. Women claim they want good men, but they really want assholes. How would you respond to something like that? Because I have a few men that are adamant about that, and I really want to get as a breakup and empowerment coach. How do you respond to that? Because you're almost relationships, right? So how do you respond to that?
Well, I would have a very specific conversation with each of them because nobody's the same. But I would ask a lot of follow-up questions, and I would try to get at what is really happening there. Because one, I would want to find out if this has happened at least 3 times in their life. If this has happened 3 or more times in their life, it's not the other person, it's them. There's something that they continue to attract, and there's a pattern that's happening. And so it's like, okay, what's the pattern? Find out the pattern, then we can help interrupt that pattern to create something new.
Okay.
So yeah, if it happens 3 or more times, there's something going on with you. Also, if you want to continue to have that thought that women just want assholes, like, you're going to continue to attract those people into your space. So if you continue, like, what we think about is what we attract into our space. So if I think about, I'm going to be poor for my whole life, that's what I'm going to attract in, because I'm going to think that I'm only worth $7 an hour. But if I put into my mindset that I want to be a millionaire and I am worth all of this, then I'm going to start manifesting and creating the different scenarios to attract that type of person, that type of money into my life. So with my friends, my coaching colleagues will call it calling in your king or queen. This is a conversation that's been in a bunch of my circles lately, but they've talked about how they make a list of all of the things they want in their partner, and they have found that person, and they have fit that entire list except maybe one thing on the list. Every single ridiculously bullet-pointed thing on their list, because they put it out into the universe that this is what they want, and they really, it's not about, like, it's again that scarcity mentality, right? So if you're in that scarcity mentality of, like, men finish last, like, good guys finish last, I'm never going to find anyone, like, you're just living in that drama triangle in the victim part of the triangle. Okay. And you're looking for someone to save you and take you, like...
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, you're living in the victim part of the triangle. And so it's like, okay, well, get out of the drama triangle, first of all. Let's step out. Like, do all of your complaining, step out of the triangle and say, okay, I cannot control these other women in my life, but what I can control is me. So what are things that I'm doing to attract this type of person into my life? What are things that I'm doing that is creating this type of mindset for me? And how can I create this beautiful, like, abundant mentality? Like, I get to, like, this is my thing for 2020. I'm going to call in my king in 2020. That is my manifestation. The thing that I'm going to do this year. One of the things I'm going to do this year. That is, so I've been wrapping my brain around that. And I have also lived in that scarcity mindset. It's like, I've been married been there, done that. I've had multiple boyfriends, and like some of the same shit has happened. And one of the things that I found for myself is I was unconsciously committed to being abandoned. I have issues of abandonment, and so as a result of that fear, I would actually do things that would push them away. And so if I'm doing things out of fear in a relationship, like what kind of relationship is that? It's not actually giving the freedom for the other person to actually be themselves. I end up trying to control them so that they won't run away, and that actually pushes them away. So the inevitable happens because I'm moving out of fear and moving into that victim space and looking for him to save me. Like, no, fuck that. Like, we get to both be beautiful, whole, perfect, whole, and complete people, and I get to learn from whatever interaction I have with whatever person that is in my life.
Okay. Cool. Wow. It's getting deep. So I do have to leave soon because I do have some family activities to do. So I don't know if you want to wrap up with like a last question. I know that we have people coming in and out. Shout out to everyone who came in and out. First and second video. So any last words or question before at least I have to head out?
Yeah. Do you have any question for me? You said you had a couple, so.
I think if for someone who may be looking help in the area of breakup coaching, what would be some steps? Like, if they're in your area, how can they get a hold of you? If they're not in your area, how can they get access to a coach?
Well, I do all of my coaching virtually, so it doesn't matter where you live.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I have a website, www.coachingwithjess.net.
Nice.
And I also have a Facebook group called Breakup
Which I'm a part of. Yes.
Yes. So I
Not
have a
because I'm
lot
trying to
of.
wake up. I just want to support you. Well, my wife saw, I was like, "What are you doing? Are you break?" I was like, "No, this is just trying to support my girl, Jess." No plans to break up with you.